Hello everybody, it is Agony333, and we're here for another fucking movie review. As you can probably tell what it is. It's a movie I've been wanting to get to for quite a few years, since a friend recommended it to me, and that is Sinister. So, is this film truly sinister? Let's find out if it is. So, yeah, it's a film from 2012. It is a horror mystery thriller and runs at an hour and 50 minutes. So, yeah, basically, the premise of this movie is the father, whose name is Ellison, he's a writer, and he basically acquires a new home and goes out to said home with his family. The family doesn't know the reason, but the reason that Ellison has come out to this home is he's actually struggling in his writing career because he's a true crime novelist. And he basically has acquired this home because a horrific crime has occurred there. And so he's hoping to basically crack this case and hope to get another best selling novel from this. But as we see as the film progresses, it's not a very good fucking plan, as he would hope. But yeah, there's I have some notes here as I usually do, but a lot of them I think I'm going to have to wait until the spoiler territory. But let's see what I can get through before cutting that off. But all right, the first thing I'll say is that the movie has a really cool opening. Just a lot of the soundtrack in this film is just really kind of like unsettling, disturbing. It really like gives this heavy kind of doom feel to it. At least it's what I got. I mean, as soon as the opening happened, and during there's also another thing is there will be these Super 8 films that'll be shown throughout the movie, and they're just done fucking amazing. They're done fantastically. And the soundtrack during those moments in particular really heighten the disturbing quality of them because they give off that vibe. They have a really like an old feel, but like a legitimate feel, and they give off a really fucking cool vibe in this movie. So I'm not really spoiling much. I'm just mentioning there's bits of that. I mean, the very opening thing basically shows one of these films, and it sets the tone from the very get go, kind of throughout where it's going to go. Another thing I should put here, and this is going to be, I guess, funny. I don't. I watched this movie, I think, like last week or so, and I put here rain/paint. I guess that was something I was hoping to cover, but it's escaping me. So yeah, this is a note that has basically slipped through the cracks of time. That's a first that I've ever had in these fucking reviews. A note that I have no idea what the fuck it means. So maybe there was like some rain effect with paint or something that I'm not recalling that was cool. I don't know, but I put rain/paint. I don't know what the fuck I liked there, but for anybody watching this, maybe you'll figure it the fuck out. But yeah, it had a cool opening. Let me see here. I can't touch on that one. That one. I already mentioned kind of the Super 8 films are really awesome, really cool music, really cool style. And I would feel like that is one of the highlights of this movie is I mean there's a lot of these, supernatural scares in a home with a family in a new fucking house or something. But these films lend like a different feel to that. It's like, it's got a similar thing, but then these films and the way that this movie goes about it sets it apart, I feel, from the traditional kind of film like this where you go in and you have the family and all that shit like I just mentioned. The films are really cool, so I think a lot of people will like those and maybe agree with me that that kind of sets it apart a little bit. Let me see here. Another thing I'll mention that this film, because I don't feel like it's that much of a spoiler, but a lot of movies involving a home and involving this kind of thing, it shows like, a big family dynamic. The family's like bumbling around the house, stubbing their fucking toe, doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And you really get a lot of layers of that. And that's cool and all. That's cool. I'm not shitting on that whole thing. But this film, what I like about this film, that's why I'm bringing it up. What I like about this film is it has little bits of that. Like you get to know some of the family members a little bit. But what this film does differently is it takes almost more of an investigation kind of approach because, like I said, Ellison is a true crime novelist. So when he comes in there, he basically starts to just immediately kind of settle into his work and wants to find out, the cause of the crime that occurred there and sift through information and all sorts of stuff. So the movie has a different feel than most of them. You know, it doesn't have just like this family being tormented like a lot of them kind of focus on. A lot of the focus of this movie is more of an investigation kind of feel. You know, you get like these, he has like a board and he's putting clues up there, and he's watching these Super 8 kind of films and stuff, and he's trying to kind of tear through details and figure out what the fuck is going on here. And I feel like that really does this film a lot more, I feel. And like I said, setting itself apart. So you have these cool films that give it a kind of unique vibe. And then you have where it takes this investigation kind of approach, and you kind of sit back and you discover with the main character, Ellison, and it has just a really cool feel. I really liked that approach with this movie. So I figured I would mention that to kind of mention what sets it apart. I put here refreshing, because to me it was kind of refreshing to not just focus entirely on the family and then, oh, a pot went flying across the goddamn kitchen and now shit's about to kick off. No, you know what I mean? It's an investigation thing, and we're learning along with the main protagonist what the hell's happened here, and it's really cool how it sets that up. Another thing, and yeah, I guess I have really one more thing I guess I'd like to go to, and this I found out when I was looking through trivia kind of thing, because I like to try to look and find some kind of trivia stuff. But they actually used like real Super 8 filming for those snuff films. And so yeah, like I said, those films are fucking awesome. And I, didn't know it at the time. I mean, I maybe could have like kind of guessed maybe they actually used the legitimate thing, but I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? With the digital age, they, you know what I mean? I didn't know that they legitimately used that. You know, it could have been a filter or whatever, but it's cool to know that they actually went that extra mile and used the legitimate, old style to give it the legitimate, genuine feel that it has. Because, like I said, that to me was a big strength of this movie. So, but unfortunately, I can't really delve too much into the spoilers. I kind of mentioned, like I said, what I felt was the cool parts of this, which was the investigation, the soundtrack, the vibe it gives you, this atmosphere that it gives you. It's not a movie that has a bunch of blood and a ton of killing. You get some in these films, but it's not one that's going to be like heavy on that. You know, there's not tons of action constantly. There's not gore and blood all over the place. It's more of an atmospheric and slowly kind of getting more into shit. It's like I said, it's more atmospheric, and I kind of liked that. I appreciate that. I mean, I like both kinds. I like the kinds that go crazy with the gore and crazy with the horror, and then these other ones that really build up this atmosphere and this unsettling vibe are cool as well. And that's the approach that this one takes. But yeah, that's about, I think, all I can get to, so I might as well kind of just throw my rating out there and then head on into the spoiler territory so I can explain little bits here and there that I liked, or kind of elaborate on thoughts on shit for anyone who's already seen this movie. But I recommend, if you're a horror lover and it sounds cool to you, I recommend checking it out, because like I said, I mean, if the films, these little kind of freaky old style films, and this heavy atmosphere, and the investigation kind of approach and a refreshing kind of take on that sounds interesting to you, I recommend checking it out. And I sort of struggled a little bit on the rating that I wanted to give, because I initially was like, maybe like 7.5 or whatever. I was kind of around there. I was like 7.5. And I basically settled on a 7, which is pretty good for anyone who doesn't know. 5 is like average for me. And, but yeah, I was like, 7, maybe lean into 7.5. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just stick with 7. It was a pretty cool, solid movie. I really loved, like I said, the really doomish kind of atmosphere that it provides. Because yeah, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It really gives you that feel like, yeah, it's not much hope here, is what I'm saying. It kind of gives you this really doom and gloom kind of feel where, like, you know what I mean? People don't really have a chance in the situation and shit. It was really cool. But yeah, so I gave it a 7. And for anyone who wants to watch this movie, I recommend definitely check it out. Don't let my spoilers ruin it for you, or don't, stumble onto shit. If you really are interested, go check that shit out. And now I'm going to be delving into some of the spoilers, some of the other little bits there that I really liked. And here we go. So, the first thing I would like to mention, because we already mentioned the opening, so I'm getting on to the next note, is the thing that I noticed as the investigation starts. and it later on it's kind of elaborated in a way because him and his wife, Ellison and his wife, ended up having this argument. And I gotta say, the actor who played Ellison, I felt was a really good fucking actor. I just thought so. But the thing I put down here was like, what he's putting them through for his dream was kind of a crazy aspect of it because I mean a big part of why Ellison's here is his dream and his desire to stay on top because he's published basically a book that was a bestseller, and then everything kind of seemed to fizzle out. Maybe he's had some successes with other books, but he hasn't had that peak like he had like basically 10 years ago, I believe he said. And it was a crazy thought, and it was crazy to see the kind of antics and the kind of shit that really was that this family was being put through for the sake of a dream was kind of crazy. At least to me, it was kind of like, man, like, I mean, she kind of, like I said, during that argument, you could kind of get that gist and see that kind of he's in a way sacrificing their childhood, his children's childhoods, and for a dream. And it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure that kind of stuff happens all the time. It's like, a balancing kind of thing you got to do when you have a dream that requires so much work, so much stress and time, and a fucked up situation like his where he has to go head first into these fucked up areas and be around crime scenes like this. I mean, it can have obviously a big fucking toll, which you can see throughout this movie it start to take. The next note I put on there was Night Terror, chills, because yes, not many movies can always give me like chills or legitimately kind of creep me out, but this movie had a couple of them. And I think it was due in part to the soundtrack during some of these Super 8 films. And I had my headphones. I was wearing headphones at the time. I had those fuckers cranked up because I like to see a movie in a kind of theatrical setting. I like it loud. I like to get immersed into a film when I watch it. I want to feel all the fucking vibes. I don't want to get distracted. I want to kind of get sucked into it. And this movie gave me some chills, I'll say that. Like, particularly during, like I said, some of the Super 8 films were kind of just, unsettling shit. I think, I'm trying to think here, but I'll get to the point what I'm thinking. But anyways, the Night Terror in the box when the sun comes out, that fucking gave me chills. It was just the scream that the son made, the way he came out of the box. It was brilliant to me because, like I said, it actually managed to give me some fucking chills there. And that's why I feel like this movie was really cool, is because it set and it succeeded in this atmosphere, in this creepy fucking vibe. And a lot of films that try to do that don't always succeed, but this one I felt succeeded in some places. Yeah, that scene in particular was a really cool one. Let me see here. I already mentioned the Super 8 films. And here's another thing. Like, I noticed this before. It was kind of later on. It's kind of just threw out there. I believe the wife kind of just mentions it. Other people mention it. But early on, you could kind of get the gist. You start seeing Ellison drinking, and so I immediately kind of clicked with that, and I was like, I mean, look at the work and how it's taking a toll on him and everybody else, and that goes back to kind of his dream, because you can tell that that while this is like Ellison's passion and that's what he's succeeding in, you can tell that, and he's probably had times like this before, where these really fucked up, horrific crimes that he's having to get so intimate with are taking a toll mentally on him, which, I mean, I kind of understandable. I mean, he's, when you're sifting through such really fucked up, grisly shit, having to like get into this mindset, and try to figure these things out, see such graphic things, and really like close yourself off in a room like he does and get absorbed. I mean, he ends up taking that and basically drinking with it to try to cope with it. And so, yeah, you get to see how the work takes a toll on him and then kind of starts affecting other people, unfortunately. But yeah, I put that there. And yeah, I mentioned already the investigation. I like how it cut to the chase. I like how, the family kind of got in there. It highlighted some things a little bit, but it cut right to the chase. It didn't stick with the family a ton. It went right into this investigation, and we got to see with Ellison as he reviewed each of these films, as he found each clue, as he went through it. It was really sweet to see. Now is going to be kind of coming into later on. So The moment I knew shit was gonna get fucked up, the moment I knew was when they moved, when they left. Because I remembered, for anybody paying attention, you probably, just like me, got the link there. That when a family comes into the new home and then leaves to go back to the prior home or whichever moves, that's when you're screwed. And they got scared out of the house. And as soon as he packed, it was basically, I think, as soon as he like set the reels on fire, and as soon as the fucking crazy music kicked in, he's like, "Pack the stuff. We need to go now." I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "No, this is not gonna end well." Fuck. And yeah, it did not end well because yeah, I noticed the pattern. I'm sure everyone else knew the pattern. It's like without even realizing it, he fell into the goddamn pattern. So, ugh, that sucks. But yeah, okay, that was that note that I put there. As soon as that moment happened, I knew it was something. It was gonna get bad. And yeah, then later on, I believe his name was Jonas. Now I'm kicking myself in the fucking ass because I can't remember. I believe the guy, there was like this professor who knew some things about Bagul, who is the fucking enigmatic figure behind all this crazy shit. And I think his name is Jonas, and he kind of gives some clues and whatnot along the way. I believe there was the part where he started showing pictures and things with the scorpion and snake, and it's just like a puzzle piece moment. You're just like, oh fuck, because you realize he's already seen the goddamn scorpion, he's already seen the fucking snake. I mean, you see how all along, kind of throughout the film, all of the little kind of like stepping stones to getting to where you're fucked happened already without you even realizing it. That was a cool moment to me. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't have really thought like, oh, a creepy crawly here. You thought that was kind of just thrown in. No, the scorpion had a purpose and a meaning to the fucking plot. The snake had a meaning to the plot in a way, and you know what I mean. Like he didn't realize it. Ellison didn't realize it till the end that he was fucked. That he had done and basically followed the trail of crumbs to where they're going to get screwed at the end. And it was just crazy, that whole reveal right there. They went into the pattern, and I mean, he's seen the scorpion and the snake, and all the circumstances kind of aligned to where he's the next target. That was a crazy fucking moment. But yeah, I thought that was cool. And also, what was neat that I didn't catch on to, I kind of whatever kind of moment for me. Maybe I was being stupid. I don't know. I didn't catch on to this until I had read about it in the trivia stuff. Apparently, in the trivia stuff, it said that basically the scorpion and the snake were different forms that Bagul took. So I didn't really catch that. Like when I first initially when I saw that and I saw the paintings, whatever that kind of showed that, I figured those were just like I said, stepping stones of a sort of like a ritualistic nature, like kind of like these are the things, kind of like the kind of the steps and the signs that the family goes through before the end, the kind of things that have to match up. But no, apparently, according to the trivia, the scorpion and the snake were forms that Bagul took earlier on, which is kind of a neat little detail there. It's just really cool when you kind of realize, like I said, these puzzle piece moments that didn't seem so significant all of a sudden have more meaning and take on kind of a new feel to them. It was really cool. And so, yeah, I think that's actually about. Well, there's one more thing I'm going to say. The other thing I'm going to say is that, man, like, speaking of the puzzle pieces, the moment when you realize that the daughter has been the chosen target of Bagul, and that all the way even back to where she's given the fucking tea or coffee, yeah, coffee, giving the coffee to her father is just like fuck. That was another, like I said, cool kind of like heart dropping moment. Like, oh shit, and it's like, you know what I mean. He just lifts the damn mug, and you just see in there, and you're just like, oh no. Like the movie, like I said, it to me that was a really cool moment where all the shit just clicked, and you're just like, you're kind of there with him, because like I said, even though I kind of figured the pattern there, when you kind of knew, oh shit, they're kind of fucked. That's not all of the pieces there. Then you get boom, and then just all of it connects, and then it's just like you're screwed. It's too late. You see the coffee, it's done. He falls the fuck over. It's like, oh my god. And I gotta also say, like, I didn't find this movie disturbing, but the thought, I will say, is disturbing because I mean, the thought of your own child being taken and being twisted and corrupted into slaying your entire fucking family to basically knocking you the hell out, tying you up, and to just mercilessly fucking killing you all. That's a very screwed up thing. And I mean, that might be a particularly disturbing thought just because I have a child. But yeah, like I said, that thought is a kind of fucked up thought if you really think about it. It's like, man, like, Jesus, that's like the ultimate kind of betrayal, the ultimate kind of like just really fucked up shit when you think about it. Like I said, a child being twisted and contorted and used in this really sick fucking thing. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty cool movie. I thought it had some really cool kind of unique standout things. And the thing I was going to mention early on that I mentioned I had a thought on, and I'll get to that later, was during the Super 8 films, I could not recall because, yes, I have seen Sinister 2. I basically back-to-back to these movies. I watched Sinister 1, and I watched Sinister 2. A friend recommended Sinister 1 to me years ago, and I finally got around to it. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. I might as well watch both of them and do a review on both of them. So yeah, stay tuned because the next one's going to be Sinister 2 because, yes, I was ready for this shit. Especially after number 1, I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. But the thing I was going to mention, the thought that I had was I could not recall if the particular. I really hope it's in this one, and I do believe it's in this one. I could not recall if the Super 8 film with mowing was in this one, but that was freaky. That was freaky, and it's not that much of a spoiler if it's in the second one, but I'm pretty certain it's in this one. But yeah, there was a mowing one, and it was mainly the scream out of nowhere. Fucking perfect, man. It was fucking perfect. Um, yeah, that gave me chills. That gave me fucking chills. Like I said, my headset was cranked the fuck up, and I did not expect the just earth shattering fucking rah fucking shit. It was great. This movie had some cool moments. It had some cool giving you chills vibes and shit. It was fucking cool. Bagul looks badass as fuck. And so yeah, I mean, basically, I think I've touched on everything I really can say with this one. But yeah, that's what I was gonna get to is stick around because it's not over. You know, we tackled Sinister 1, but soon we will tackle Sinister 2. I got the notes right here, and I will be bringing you guys that review because, yeah, like I said, we're not done with this shit. It was fucking awesome. And I hope you guys will stick around for that. Hopefully, for those of you, hopefully those who didn't watch it went and watched it and didn't have this spoiler thing. And if you did do this spoiler thing, please still go watch it and then watch 2 or something. Don't let me spoil the whole plotline of both movies, please, because they're pretty cool. I would say it's better to experience a movie rather than be spoiled on it and just hear about it. So yeah, that's about all I've got to say for this review, folks. It was a 7, almost kind of leaning towards a 7.5, but I'm going to keep it at a 7. Pretty cool vibes and shit. I hope you guys enjoyed this film. I hope you enjoyed this review. And this is Agony333 signing out. Stay tuned for Sinister 2 next. And I hope you all have a splendid, fantastic day. A much better day than the family of this fucking movie. Hopefully. Because holy shit, they did not have a good day. But yep, Agony333 signing out. Have a grand one, folks. Peace.